Have you ever wondered what fuels the minds of the most powerful people on Earth? What ancient texts and modern manifestos sit on the nightstands of those who shape our world? Today, we're embarking on a journey into a very special kind of library. These are the books, philosophies, and ideas that have shaped kings, dictators, billionaires, and intelligence agencies. It's a collection of intellectual tools that have been wielded, for better or for worse, to build empires, command armies, and accumulate staggering fortunes. We're peeling back the cover on the reading lists of the global elite, exploring the ink and paper that have influenced history in profound ways. Now, before we get our tinfoil hats on, let's be clear. This isn't about conspiracy, it's about intellectual influence. It's about understanding the foundational ideas that guide strategic thinking at the highest levels. Think of it as intellectual archaeology. We're digging through layers of history and philosophy to uncover the source code, the operating systems that run in the minds of leaders. The universe is governed by physical laws, but human society is often governed by powerful ideas. And many of those ideas can be traced back to a handful of remarkably influential books. So, buckle up. We're about to explore the intellectual DNA of power. We'll look at why a Roman emperor's private journal still resonates in Silicon Valley, and how an ancient Chinese military manual became a Bible for Wall Street. This is more than a book club. It's a deep dive into the mindsets that define our past, present, and future. If you're ready to look behind the curtain of influence, you're in the right place. Subscribe to Behind the Taste for more. Let's begin. Our first stop is Renaissance Florence, a hotbed of political intrigue and artistic genius. It's here that Niccolò Machiavelli, a diplomat and civil servant, penned a manuscript that would become infamous. The Prince. He wrote it as a practical guide for rulers, a sort of how-to manual for acquiring and maintaining power. Forget morality, forget ethics as you know them. Machiavelli argued that for a prince, the ends, stability and control of the state, justify the means. He famously debated whether it is better to be loved or feared, concluding that while it's best to be both, if you must choose, it is far safer to be feared. This was radical, a stark departure from the religious and moralistic guides for rulers that came before. This philosophy, which we now call Machiavellian, became a shadow text for leaders throughout history. From kings and queens in Europe who saw it as a necessary, if ruthless, playbook, to modern politicians navigating the treacherous landscape of public opinion and power politics. The book essentially gives permission to do what is necessary for the state's survival, even if it's unpleasant. It's a cold, calculated look at human nature and the mechanics of power. When you hear about a leader making a pragmatic but morally questionable decision, you are seeing the ghost of Machiavelli at work, whispering that the security of the realm outweighs the purity of the soul. It's not that leaders who read The Prince become evil overnight. That's a comic book simplification. Rather, the book provides a framework for understanding power stripped of idealism. It suggests that people are fickle, ungrateful, and driven by self-interest, and a leader must operate within that reality, not an imagined one. Napoleon Bonaparte was said to have kept an annotated copy with him. Richard Nixon was a noted student of its lessons. The book's influence isn't in creating tyrants, but in equipping aspiring and current leaders with a chillingly effective and timeless perspective on the art of governance. From the cold calculus of Italian politics, we journey back in time to the Roman Empire and into the private thoughts of one of its most powerful men. Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome from 161 to 180 AD, was not just a ruler. He was a philosopher, a practitioner of Stoicism. His personal journal, never intended for publication, is what we now know as Meditations. It's not a guide to conquering nations, but a guide to conquering oneself. He writes about finding tranquility in the face of chaos, accepting what you cannot change, and focusing your energy only on what is within your control, your own thoughts and actions. It's a profound manual for mental resilience. You might wonder, what does an ancient emperor's diary have to do with today's elite? Everything. The principles of Stoicism have found a powerful resurgence among modern leaders, especially in the high-stress, high-stakes worlds of tech and finance. CEOs of billion-dollar companies who face immense pressure and constant uncertainty turn to Marcus Aurelius for guidance. The idea of maintaining an inner citadel, a fortress of calm within your mind that external events cannot breach, is an invaluable tool when your decisions affect thousands of employees and billions of dollars. It's a philosophy of leadership that prioritizes reason over panic and duty over personal comfort. Former President Bill Clinton reads it annually. Wen Jiabao, the former premier of China, claims to have read it over 100 times. The appeal is universal and timeless. In a world of notifications, market crashes, and political turmoil, Meditations offers an anchor. It teaches that external events have no power over you unless you grant it to them. For a CEO dealing with a supply chain crisis, or a world leader navigating a diplomatic standoff, this isn't just philosophy. It's a survival strategy. It's the ultimate operating system for staying rational when the universe, or the stock market, seems to be throwing everything it has at you. Let's move to ancient China, around the 5th century BC, to a text so influential that its wisdom has echoed through millennia, The Art of War by Sun Tzu. This is more than a book about battle, it's a treatise on strategy itself. Sun Tzu's core principle is that the supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. It's about knowing your enemy and knowing yourself, so that you need not fear the result of 100 battles. It prioritizes deception, intelligence, and psychological maneuvering over brute force. It teaches you to win before the battle even begins. For centuries, this book was the definitive guide for military leaders across Asia, but its influence exploded into the Western world, becoming required reading, not just at military academies like West Point, but in corporate boardrooms. Why? Because the language of business is often the language of conflict, market penetration, price wars, hostile takeovers. Business moguls saw that Sun Tzu's principles of strategy, positioning, and exploiting an opponent's weakness could be directly applied to the marketplace. A competitor is just another kind of enemy, and a market is just another kind of battlefield. Intelligence agencies, from the CIA to Mossad, have also deeply integrated its teachings. The emphasis on espionage, on the use of spies, and on understanding the terrain, be it physical or informational, is the bread and butter of intelligence work. The book's advice to appear weak when you are strong and strong when you are weak is the very essence of counterintelligence and strategic deception. Whether it's a general planning a campaign, a CEO launching a new product, or a spy gathering information, they are all, in a sense, students of Sun Tzu. They are all playing a cosmic game where the best moves are often the ones your opponent never sees coming. Now for a more modern and far more controversial entry, Ayn Rand's 1957 novel, Atlas Shrugged. This colossal book isn't just a story, it's a philosophical manifesto disguised as fiction. It tells the story of a dystopian United States where society is collapsing under the weight of excessive regulation and a culture that vilifies achievement. In response, the nation's most brilliant and productive minds, its industrialists, inventors, and artists, go on strike, vanishing from society to create their own utopia based on pure, unadulterated capitalism and self-interest. The central question of the book is, who is John Galt? The novel champions a philosophy Rand called objectivism, which holds rational self-interest as the highest moral purpose. It argues that the men of the mind are the engines of the world, and that altruism and collectivism are destructive forces that punish success and reward mediocrity. It's easy to see why this message has resonated so powerfully with a certain class of entrepreneurs and billionaires. For many titans of industry, Atlas Shrugged is not a dystopian warning, but an inspirational saga. It validates the belief that their wealth and success are the just rewards of their superior intellect and ambition, and that government interference is an obstacle to progress. Figures like former Federal Reserve Chairman Alan Greenspan were part of Rand's inner circle. Tech billionaires like Larry Ellison of Oracle and Peter Thiel of PayPal have cited it as a major influence. The book provides a moral defense for capitalism, framing the pursuit of profit not as greed, but as a noble endeavor. It has become a cornerstone of libertarian and free market thinking in America, shaping political debates around regulation, taxes, and the role of government. Whether you see it as a brilliant defense of individualism or a deeply flawed justification for inequality, its impact on the philosophy of modern capitalism is simply undeniable. Our final book is a chilling prophecy that has, in many ways, become a contemporary reality check. George Orwell's 1984. Published in 1949, this novel presents a terrifying vision of a totalitarian future where the party, led by the omnipresent Big Brother, exercises complete control over every aspect of human life. It introduced us to concepts that are now part of our everyday lexicon: thought crime, newspeak, doublethink, and the ever-watchful telescreen. Orwell's genius was in understanding that the ultimate form of control isn't just physical force, but the manipulation of reality itself, the control of information and history. The book serves a dual purpose for the powerful. On one hand, it is studied as a cautionary tale. Governments and intelligence agencies analyze it to understand the dangers of overreach and the methods by which totalitarian states operate. It's a roadmap of what not to do if you want to maintain a free society. It highlights the fragility of truth and the ease with which language can be twisted to serve power. When politicians and citizens warn about government surveillance or the spread of fake news, they are invoking the specter of Orwell's world, using it as a benchmark for tyranny. On the other hand, and this is the more disturbing part, 1984 can also be read as a manual, not for those who wish to build a free society, but for those who wish to control one. It lays bare the mechanics of psychological manipulation, propaganda, and surveillance. By understanding how to control the narrative, how to rewrite the past, and how to create an enemy to unify the public, one learns the tools of authoritarianism. So, the book is studied by both the guardians of liberty and those who might seek to undermine it. It's a testament to its power that it serves as both a warning and, for some, a blueprint. So, there you have it. From the ruthless pragmatism of Machiavelli to the internal discipline of Marcus Aurelius, from Sun Tzu's timeless strategies to the controversial capitalism of Ayn Rand and Orwell's dystopian warning, these books are not secret in the sense of being hidden, but their true influence often operates beneath the surface, shaping the strategic decisions and core philosophies of the people who shape our world. They are the intellectual bedrock upon which thrones, fortunes, and ideologies have been built. Understanding them is to understand a crucial dimension of power itself. These texts show us that the pen can be mightier than the sword, not just because it inspires revolutions, but because it forges the mindsets of the rulers. They are tools, and like any tool, they can be used to build or to destroy. The ideas within these pages are active forces in our world, echoing in political speeches, corporate strategies, and the very technology that surrounds us. To know more, and to explore these powerful ideas for yourself, check the book links in the description. Each one offers a universe of thought waiting to be discovered. By engaging with these works, we're not just reading old books, we are decoding the operating system of power and influence. It's a journey that's essential for anyone who wants to be an informed citizen of the cosmos and of this planet. What other books do you think belong on this list? Let me know in the comments below. And for more deep dives into the ideas that shape our reality, make sure you subscribe to Behind the Taste for more insights. Keep looking up and keep thinking.